You see the younger generation of MLB superstars like Jackson Churio signing an 8-year, $82 million extension with the Brewers. Corbin Carroll, before he even played a single game at the major league level, signed an 8-year, $111 million extension with the Diamondbacks. The idea of extending your superstar players, avoid arbitration entirely, buy out some of their initial free agent years, is always a gamble in terms of the player as well as the team. Today, we're talking about a story that gamble benefits the team far more than it does the player. Ronald Acuna Jr. In a time where players are getting paid the most lucrative contracts in baseball history, you look at someone in Ronald Acuna Jr., who at his best is one of the most exciting players in baseball, playing for an Atlanta Braves team for practically free by comparison to his peers. And this is all because of a financial decision that him and his team decided to make 6 years ago. But first, a message. The world has never been more entangled with gambling. What used to be a taboo topic that could get your kneecap stolen by the mob or some shit is now plastered across NBA arenas, baseball broadcasts, and even team partnerships. I think I may have a solution, and said solution is curated by the engine of Vendetta Sports Media with Vendetta Fantasy Contest. VFC offers the, quote, non-alcoholic beer alternative to gambling. It gives fans the rush of picking spreads and money line totals without the risk of losing your hard-earned money that Mikal Bridges was going to take away from you after placing that 15-leg parlay for $5. You can use that same $5 instead of chasing payouts, and users compete for pride, rankings, and community bragging rights. You can challenge friends or join a public contest, all while testing your sports knowledge in a safe, regulated, and legal environment. VFC is built around responsible competition. It captures the excitement of predicting outcomes without the addiction-forming dopamine cycles that come with traditional betting apps, where the remorse of losing is all too familiar. At a time when gambling stories are dominating headlines for the wrong reasons, platforms like Vendetta Fantasy Contest can be the bridge between entertainment and ethics, with your help. View it as your sportsbooks meeting your favorite fantasy sports apps, bundled into one safe haven, free of the risks that these alternatives fail to protect you from. If you go to the Vendetta Fantasy Contest website and you enter this promo code, you will be able to get started for absolutely free. Definitely want to take advantage of, because this won't last forever. Vendetta Fantasy Contest is the future, and we would love for you guys to be a part of it. Vendetta Fantasy Contest could be the model for what fan engagement looks like in 2025 and beyond. Let's look at the career of Ronald Acuna Jr. at the time he signed his pre-arbitration extension. If Ronald Acuna Jr. didn't sign his extension back in April of 2019, set for free agency last offseason, an offseason where you saw Juan Soto garner the biggest contract in Major League Baseball history, with his contract with the Mets north of $750 million. You see the likes of Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani signing their lucrative extensions, and even Julio Rodriguez signing his extension with the Mariners at 12 years, $210 million. In April 2019, a 21-year-old Ronald Acuna Jr. signed an 8-year, $100 million extension with the Atlanta Braves. This is coming off a rookie season with Atlanta, batting .293 with 26 home runs and 64 RBIs. He finished 12th in MVP voting, and he won the Rookie of the Year that season with an OPS plus of 143. Now I understand why many people will be the first to say it's about long-term stability, just in case, the career doesn't pan out, one thing happens or the other, that these young guys sign these lucrative extensions almost immediately. It's both beneficial for the team and it's beneficial for the player. The team is able to buy out free agent years. By comparison, Ronald Acuna being a prime example, with somebody elevating to the point that they're one of the best players in the league, the value that the player provides is going to far outweigh the contract they signed. And even today, Atlanta's still reaping the benefits of the contract extension, because Ronald Acuna Jr. was slated to be a 2024 free agent if he didn't end up signing that extension initially. Looking at the rest of his career leading up to what would have been his 2024 offseason free agency, his per season stats, he was batting .288, averaging 23 home runs and 60 RBIs per season, with 30 stolen bases and an OPS plus of 138. From his age of 21-year-old season when he signed the extension to his age 26 season, so through 2024, 3 Silver Sluggers, 4-time All-Star, and of course winning the MVP in 2023 for the Atlanta Braves. Many will remember in the 2021 season he tore his ACL in what would have been possibly his first MVP season before he went down. Ultimately, the Braves end up winning the World Series that year without him, but that did have a ripple effect through his following season in 2022. But having a full offseason of recovery, 2023 was undoubtedly, probably will most likely be the best season of his career because of how good he was for the Braves that season. In that 2023 season, it was the healthiest season he ever had, playing in 159 games, batting .337, a career high, 41 home runs, which tied a career high, 106 RBIs, and he walked nearly as many times as he struck out. He led all of baseball in runs and hits. He led the league in stolen bases. He led all of baseball in on-base percentage, probably the most exciting player in baseball during that season. And then, of course, 2024, he tears his ACL again, only playing in 49 games. games that entire season. Of course, in the news now in 2025, winning the National League Comeback Player of the Year with a nice bounce back campaign through 95 games and getting his 5th All-Star selection, although the Braves did not have the best season at all. The point is, the good will absolutely outweigh the bad for someone like Ronald Acuna Jr. Asking the question for guys like Julio Rodriguez and Corbin Carroll and Jackson Chourio, while they're all great players, and Roman Anthony is the most recent person to sign this pre-arbitration extension with the Red Sox, looking at how good these guys are, Corbin Carroll is making that contract with the Diamondbacks look like an absolute steal. Do you see these guys achieving the same amount of success over the course of the contract like Ronald Acuna Jr.? Because no matter how young he was when he signed the contract, no matter his injury history with his 2-season ending knee surgeries, Ronald Acuna Jr., if you were to have tested free agency during the 2024 offseason, he would have got a lucrative deal. That $100 million he probably would have got in the first 4 years of any deal with any other team he would have signed with, or probably could have got it from the Braves. And it's more of a credit to the Braves because they were able to lock up guys like Matt Olson and Ozzie Albies, others in that core. Now Ronald Acuna Jr. wouldn't be slated to test free agency until the 2028 offseason, and this contract has definitely been something that Acuna and his camp have tried to rework. That's the gamble you take when you're a young player and you sign these pre-arbitration extensions. He did not have to sign that immediately. It was more about getting that financial security initially. Even if he waited a couple of seasons in, even during the 2020 season, or could have signed the contract even a couple years later before his initial knee surgery, Acuna's value would have still been tremendously high and he would have been able to garner a much larger contract. Just addressing any of those points now is just going to be a product of hindsight. And this still isn't to say that Ronald Acuna Jr. couldn't garner a more lucrative deal when he does test the open market whenever he does become a free agent. I think for the rest of his Braves contract, he's going to continue to make that contract look like an absolute steal. Even with the track record he's had, it's already made that contract look like such a genius move. And if 2025 has told us anything, Ronald Acuna is on his way back. All he has to do is worry about remaining on the field because he's still one of the most dynamic players in the game, more getting back to what he was before. This is more of a reminder of his 2022 season coming back from knee surgery where he had a down year. That was the precursor to his MVP 2023. It's just the whole idea is with many players signing these lucrative extensions and contracts and seeing what these guys on the open market today could be possibly getting from teams. Ronald Acuna Jr. is getting paid pennies for his level of production. Seeing what somebody like Anthony Rendon got for his 7 years, $245 million contract with the Angels, it just leads you to believe, did Ronald Acuna Jr. sign the worst contract ever? Well, you guys tell me. I think Ronald Acuna Jr., he is going to get paid at some point in his career, especially if he remains healthy. Even at age 30, he can still garner a hefty price. Get that money back, even if it's just like a 5-year deal. No doubt that he's going to get that big payday that he's looking for. And also, what teams would he have went to if he did become a free agent last year? If you ask me, amidst the injuries, his level of production would have garnered him something similar to Rendon in terms of AAV, but I could easily have seen him be somebody who was signing a 10-year, around a $300 million contract. Because you're looking at somebody who's a former MVP, 5-time All-Star, multiple-time Silver Slugger, while his defense is subpar at best in right field. When he's at the plate, he is one of the most exciting players to watch when he's actually on the field and healthy. If you guys did like the video, show your support by leaving a like, sharing this video around with your friends, and keeping it here to Vendetta Sports Media to stay up to date with all your favorite sports. And also check us out on VendettaSportsMedia.com as well. But with all that being said, guys, that's going to do it for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.